Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. My name is Nick. Today we're going to talk about Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs and this big digital question that has finally been answered. Make sure you check out all the links that are down in the show description. There's a link for the Vinyl Den Facebook group. There's also links for our merch page, for the Spotify and Apple Music playlists, and also there's one for our Patreon page. So make sure you check all those out. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. So over the course of the last week or so, there's been a lot of talk on social media, on YouTube, about the revelation that really since 2015, Mobile Fidelity has been using a digital step in their mastering process. And really kind of what does all this mean to us as consumers and people that just love listening to great sounding records. I think a lot of credit for all this has to go to Mike over at the In Groove. He's got a great channel, and he was kind of the one that, at least the one I saw, that really kind of, put this out there that this was something that's been going on for, really the last 7 years. And Mobile Fidelity has finally come out and confirmed that, yes, they have been using this digital step. So if you aren't familiar with it, with what's been going on, what Mobile Fidelity has been doing is they're taking the original master recordings, they're confirming that they are the original master tapes, and they're making direct stream digital copies, DSD versions, of those original recordings, and that's what they're using for their mastering process. They're doing this for their one-steps, they're doing this for their standard releases. And to be completely honest, I don't have a whole lot of Mofi releases from 2015 on. I think I've got two that I can think of off the top of my head. But they're great sounding versions of those albums. And I've got, at least with one of them, I do have an older pressing of it. And the Mofi version, to me, sounds even better than the original version. I know a lot of people have been kind of up in arms over this, and a lot of people feel betrayed by Mobile Fidelity that they have been using a digital step. But for me personally, I've always kind of I knew eventually we were going to get to this point where, a lot of these older tapes, from 50, 60, 70 years ago, they're really going to be unusable. So eventually we were going to get to a point where we were going to have DSD versions of these tapes to really kind of do anything to press off of, to make physical forms of these albums. And it's great to see Mobile Fidelity, I think, kind of on the forefront, on the cutting edge of this process, and really taking the time to really kind of perfect it and make the product that they're making. If you have any of these Mofi releases, you can see and you can hear that DSD is a really great high quality way, at least the way Mobile Fidelity is using it, of making or recreating or copying those original tapes to make a really great sounding album off of. And DSD is something that's been around for a long time. It's actually what they use for SACDs, which sound fantastic. I got the Dark Side of the Moon SACD sitting over my shoulder here. But, so I think the farther, the longer we kind of go in this process, I think more and more labels, are going to be taking these and kind of doing the same thing and kind of perfecting these. And hopefully we'll get to a point where, it's kind of the normal thing. I know a lot of people out there really love the all analog, all the way through kind of process that we've kind of grew up and loved for, the last 40, 50, 60 years. But like I said, eventually it's going to kind of end, and we're going to have to go to a digital step. And I think that it's great to see Mobile Fidelity, kind of, like I said, being on the forefront and kind of and making a process to perfect that. Where I do kind of agree with a lot of people out there in social media is I don't think Mobile Fidelity has been all that transparent about this. I think it's something that they really should have been out there saying for the last 7 years. I think this is going to kind of cost them money, maybe in the short run. I think over the long term, it's not really matter, that much. Their sales will kind of rebound. But I think there are people out there that are going to say, look, we thought that you were doing an all analog process, and now that there's this digital step, I'm out. I'll save my money instead of spending the $125, $150 on this Mofi release, I'll go buy a CD for $15 or a standard release or an older pressing for, 20, $30. And I get that. I think that Mobile Fidelity really needs to be, and hopefully from now on they will be, from this point on, they will be more transparent about their process. And like I said, I think it's something that's going to be more and more common the longer we gotta go. And I've been out there saying for a long time that, just because something is digital and something is from a digital source does not mean it's going to sound bad. Music on Vinyl is a label that I think has been really open about the fact that all of their releases are from a digital source. And those albums, I've got a bunch of MOV releases. I probably have 24 at least MOV releases, and they all sound fantastic. Just because something is digital doesn't mean it's going to be bad. If you know how to master that digital source, you can make a good sounding album with it. It's not really about the source of the music, it's more about the mastering. And I think that's where Mofi is kind of at in their process, and they've obviously mastered that the mastering process of that digital source to make an absolutely great sounding product. Just because something is from a digital source doesn't mean, I want to kind of clarify real quick. When I say digital source, I mean like a high quality, high resolution digital format. I'm not talking about taking a CD and ripping a CD and pressing it on vinyl. That's going to sound like garbage. There's got to be a mastering process, because there's a very different sound that CD is going to have versus what a vinyl record is going to have. And it's got to be mastered properly for that vinyl record. I'm not saying if you take a CD and press it on a vinyl, it's going to sound good, because it's not going to. There's very different things between that and I think what Mobile Fidelity and what Music on Vinyl has been kind of doing. Obviously Music on Vinyl doesn't have the quality, the audio quality that Mofi has and has been known for. But I think kind of moving forward, like I said, I think we're going to see more and more labels kind of come out and kind of be maybe a little more transparent about what they're doing behind the scenes and the product they're putting out. If you haven't done so yet, go over to the Ingrooves YouTube channel. Mike had a whole video about it a week or so back when kind of all of this kind of broke, and he also has an hour-long interview where I actually sat down with the guys at Mobile Fidelity and kind of talked about the whole process and everything else that kind of goes on along with it. And when I first saw the video, I kind of knew where a lot of people were going to go with, oh my God, this is coming from a digital source. The sky is falling. And I think that after Mike put out the hour-long video with the guys from Mofi, I think it's kind of going to kind of calm a lot of people's nerves about their process and how they look at it, and really, how much they still value putting out the highest quality audio product that they can. I think it's something that, like I said, they've been doing this since 2015, and I can't think of a single Mofi release where people have said, oh, well, actually, this doesn't sound all that great. Every Mofi release sounds fantastic, and it's going to be some of the best sounding versions of those albums. I think people need to kind of be realistic, really, with where music is at, and those old analog tapes that break down over time. And when you're seeing 50,000, I think it's 50,000 of the Thriller Mofi releases that are coming out. I mean, you know that there's got to be a digital step in that. You're not pressing 50,000 off that original analog tape. I don't know. I think all this is really fascinating. I've been loving a lot of the conversations that I've been seeing online, on social media, on YouTube. But drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Because like I said, I have been saying it for a long time that digital does not equal bad. If you take a high resolution DSD file and master it properly, you can make it sound really good. And Mofi is obviously that's what they're doing, and they're kind of think they're gonna kind of perfect this format kind of moving forward. And I'm sure we're gonna see other labels doing the same thing. I don't know. That's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. Drop me a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Because there's a bunch of opinions out there that I've read, on both sides of the argument. I love kind of seeing where the conversation goes, because like I said, initially I was kind of shocked by, I guess I really shouldn't have been, because like I said, when you're seeing 50,000 copies of Thriller coming out or 25,000 copies of Kind of Blue coming out, there's got to be some kind of digital step in there. So I really shouldn't have been surprised by it. But like I said, after watching the interview, the hour-long interview with the guys over there at Mofi, I was really kind of reassured that the process is moving in the right direction, and their focus is still on that high-quality product, which it really should be. That's what Mofi is known by. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. And that's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.